Yo, what's up, people? It's the bad boy Alex. Yeah, it's the bad boy. And today's a very special YouTube video. Today I'm going to help you nice guys, or make the attempt to help you nice guys, or a vast majority that's trapped in the 80% that can't get laid by beautiful, attractive women. I guess I'm going to try to help you guys out, because some of you nice guys out there, you just don't seem to understand. You just don't seem to get it. Some of you nice guys don't get it. But I'm going to help you get it today, because today is your lucky day. Today is Sunday. And normally I'd be on location filming these videos, but today we're going to stick to the house, because sometimes it gets too hot or too cold. Then there's cars and trucks that pass by, and you guys can't hear the audio perfectly. So yeah, I'm glad I'm inside the house. I actually like the fact that I'm in the house just this one time. And depending on if the cell phone cut off or not, we might get lucky. Every now and then, my cell phone might allow me 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, even 25 to 30 minutes of a video. So we might get lucky today. I can't guarantee it. So if it cut off after 1.5 to 2 minutes, don't be bitching and complaining saying, damn it, Alex. As soon as I get paid at the end of March or going into April after jury duty, we'll get an SD card. And the next time I film a video like this, it won't be cutting on and off. It'll just stay on until I decide if I want it to be a 10-minute video, 15, 20-minute video. The title of this YouTube video is going to be called Sex with Dominatrix Part 4. Now, this is just picking up where the last 3 videos left off on my old YouTube channels. If you were originally a subscriber of mine on my Alexander channel, which is my main YouTube channel, or Alexander #2 show, you already know what I talk about on my YouTube channels. And this is for mature audiences. Now, 80% of men cannot have sex with women because there is a strong, powerful realization that a lot of men just do not want to accept. Let's talk about this concept of the friend zone, because I'm sick of this friend zone bullshit. You know, it's highly overrated. And I have a friend who I believe watches too much television and too many of these Hollywood films, and he needs to take his head out of his ass and stop being stupid and delusional and face the reality, because he needs to. And I'm not talking about the guys that have subscribed to my old channel or my coworker. I'm talking about this one guy that I went to Los Angeles City College with. I want him to get his head out of his ass and take a hard, good look in the mirror. If you're getting rejected by women who say, I just want to be your friend, and you expect me to make a video talking about why a guy walks up to a girl and talks to a girl and the girl says, I just want to be friends, you're stupid and delusional, because I've already made that YouTube video a total of 4 times and you don't pay attention to the videos. And I can tell you don't pay attention to the videos, because if you did, you would have paid attention to that one video that I made almost 30 minutes called Sex Talk. With the girl, the freak doesn't want the nice guy to know. You would have known what's in that video. You wouldn't be asking the same stupid question. I'm like a teacher. I go on to the next lesson plan, and the next lesson plan. There are other people that want to raise their hand in the classroom and ask a smart, intelligent question, and you're not special. That I want to make perfectly understand to this unknown, anonymous person. You're not special. You don't get special privileges. You have to earn special privileges. I can't walk into a gym and do what I want to do. Well, you don't get to demand what YouTube videos are to get made and not get made. You watch the content that's been uploaded on here and you watch it. Either you watch the videos or you don't watch the videos. Either you like the videos or you dislike the videos. Either you comment or you don't comment. If you don't watch, that's great. That's fantastic. I'm not talking to the guys that view my videos. I'm talking about this one guy who's too stupid and delusional to accept the reality. If a woman rejects you after you've already tried to talk to her, she don't find you physically, sexually attractive. That means you don't have no good looks. That means you're not Brad Pitt. That means you're not Jadam Tate. You're not Tom Cruise. That means you're not LeBron James. You're not Kobe Bryant. So stop asking the same stupid question. Do you guys know what the reason of insanity is? The epitome of an idiot that likes to ask the same stupid question over and over and over again, and after you give him 5 possible answers, he still asks the same stupid question. We all had friends like that, right? You went to high school or you went to college, and somewhere in there you met an idiot who said how you learn how to drive a car, and you gave him 5 possible answers on how to do that, and after you gave him 5 scenarios on how to get a car, he comes back and asks the same stupid question. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And when you see him, you avoid him at all costs. You see him at the library, you try to avoid him. You see him at the basketball court, you try to avoid him. You see him at the gym, you try to avoid him because he's an idiot. And the reason why I say the epitome of an idiot is asking the same stupid question over and over and over after you've got your answer. If you're that stupid that you can't see the writings on the wall, then you need to go see a therapist. Now, I'm not talking to you guys, I'm talking to the idiot. Because this is the last time you're going to be told once and for all, stop asking for the same stupid nonsense. So, like a teacher would say, put your goddamn hand down, sit down, shut up, and actually learn on why you're not getting laid by a female. Because the information I have, pickup artists and dating coaches would charge you anywhere between $500 to almost $3,000 to learn this information. I'm giving this information for free. So yeah, I might be an arrogant asshole, but at least I'm an honest asshole. At least I tell the truth like an asshole. The pickup artists and the dating coaches, they'll just charge you so much money to learn this information. So not you guys, but just the idiot. And I'm not saying his name because he knows who the hell he is. Last time you're going to ask that stupid question. Now let's get on with the video and presentation. Sorry if I started to lose my composure and look like an asshole. So what happens when you get an idiot in class that asks the same stupid question? A lot of you guys went to high school and college, and you've had an idiot that would always disrupt class, and you would have it look like, dude, be quiet because I'm trying to get out of here and smoke my weed on time, or dude, I got a girl I got to holler at before I go to my next class, and you holding up class. So you know what I mean when I say you always went to high school and college. There's that one idiot that asked the teacher the same stupid question after the teacher have already answered it. Yeah, I'm dealing with one of those idiots. Anyway, now, the reason why 80% of men can't get laid is quite simple. It's not even a secret, it's just common sense. A lot of men are not physically, sexually attractive to women. It's all about your looks. Now, if you got bad hygiene and you don't take a shower and you don't get a haircut and you don't get the nice, clean, fresh shave and you got food in your teeth, yeah, she's gonna reject you. Now, how does a basketball player become good at playing basketball? I think the answer to that question is there has to be a basketball coach to show him how to play basketball, right? How does a person become a good football player? There has to be a football coach to show a person how to play football, right? How does someone get good at doing boxing or mixed martial arts? There has to be someone at once upon a time to teach someone how to box or do martial arts, right? There's a person called a teacher, right? Well, if there is a teacher for basketball, football, baseball, boxing, and mixed martial arts, there is a teacher that's just for having sex. Now, 80% of men claim they know how to have sex. A lot of us claim we know how to get our freak on in the bedroom. But here's the sad truth and the reality. If we all knew how to have sex in the bedroom, nobody would be watching these YouTube videos and nobody would be watching these videos. And I wouldn't be making these videos if that was the case. See, women like men that have experience. Basketball coaches and football coaches, from what I understand, if you watch professional sports, a lot of those guys, when they go to the NBA draft, They're looking for the best basketball players to draft onto a basketball team. When you watch the NFL football draft, a lot of those coaches and owners and general managers are looking for the best football players to play on their football team. They want to win basketball games. They want to make it to the playoffs. They want to win playoff series. They want to make it to the NBA finals. And ultimately, they want to win an NBA championship within the next 5 years. And when they get a talent that looks like he's got talent, looks like he's got experience, and then maybe a year or 2 or 3 years into those seasons that they find out that this guy's not what we thought he was in the draft, then it becomes a bust. And women are like basketball coaches. Women are like football coaches. And we're often at times being the players. Now, you could switch it up and say you're the coach and the girl's the basketball player. A lot of times, a lot of men have so much pride, they don't want to go to a dominatrix and learn how to have sex. They say, well, I'm strong, I'm tough, I don't need no dominatrix. And then when you have sex with a woman, and a woman say these words, you're a mistake, that means the sex was not that very good. The sex was terrible. And you see, the reason why all these thugs, these criminals, keep getting all the sex, and guys like you don't, it's because he has experience. That means he went to someone behind the scenes, behind closed doors, and someone trained him on how to be a freak in the bed. So when he has sex with one girl, 2 girls, 3 girls, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 girls, he ain't got no worries. Back in the 1980s and 90s and early 2000s, the name of the game was called How Many Girls Can You Bang? How many girls can you have sex with? And whoever had sex with 10 girls won the game. A guy would take out a $100 bill, and I'm actually not making this shit up. This actually does happen. If you ever went to high school and college, somebody would take out a $20 bill or a $50 bill or a $100 bill, and they would challenge you to a challenge. And in order for you to take the money, you had to walk up to a beautiful, attractive girl, and you had to spit game at her and convince her that you were the man. And somehow get her to have sex with you by the end of the week or by the end of the month, whether it was 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year. You had to somehow convince her to have sex. And the thing was, if she said no, you lost the bet. You had to pay the other guy money. Whether it was $20, whether it was $50, whether it was $100, you had to pay the money. And a lot of these guys would take their cameras out and film and record you having sex with the girl as proof of evidence that you was the man. And that's how rumors in high school and college start, by the way. Now, when you go to basketball practice, there's an assistant coach that helps assist the coach teach you how to play basketball. Same thing when you go to football practice. There's a football coach. There's the assistant football coach to assist the coach to help you play football, right? Well, if you actually think about it, 99.99%, the answer to fixing your problem in life is always easy and simple. Problem is, a lot of guys overanalyze, overthink the problem, and do everything but the one thing that fixes the problem. If you can get a basketball coach to show you how to play basketball, if you can get a football coach to show you how to play football, and a baseball coach to help you play baseball, same thing if you try to box. How does a person become a boxer? They have to go to a boxing trainer that all he does is box, right? If you do mixed martial arts, you have to go to someone that all they does is martial arts, right? Well, it's the same thing with having sex. A lot of women are looking for men that have experience. And one of the things that hurt men tremendously are 3 things. And it ain't you have a house and a car and a job, because you're supposed to have that regardless. The answer to that is most men do not know how to talk to women. Most men do not have very good social skills. And when you don't know how to carry a conversation and a woman notices that you don't know how to talk, that's usually the number one reason why you get rejected. You don't know how to talk. You don't know how to carry a conversation. It's like what Ric Flair, the professional wrestler, once said 30 years ago. There are great professional wrestlers that have won championships that have a lot of charisma, but they have no talent. There are talented professional wrestlers that have all the talent in the world, but no charisma. Translation, there are guys that have good talking skills, but they're terrible in wrestling. There are guys that can wrestle their ass off, but they don't know how to talk. And you see that with 80% of men that have been rejected by women 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The average man in America does not know how to talk and socialize with women. And I'm one of those guys that were a victim of it. 10 years ago, I got rejected by a total of 10 women. In 10 years, I got rejected by 10 women. And if we do the math properly, I'm pretty sure it's probably close to 20 women. In 10 years, I probably got rejected by 20 women because I did not know how to talk. I did not know how to socialize. I know how to socialize now, but 10 years ago, I didn't know how to talk. And that's the first reason why you get rejected. The second reason why you get rejected is that some men don't know how to physically, sexually attract a woman. When they say physically, sexually attract a woman, what they mean is you need to learn how to appeal to a woman. That means get a haircut. That means the nice clean shave, good looking clothes and shoes. And when they say it's looks, it's the way you look. Would you come out the house with food stuck in your mouth? No, you wouldn't, because if you did, and the girl saw that you had food stuck in your teeth, what is she supposed to do? Just accept you as you are? No, she won't. And you see, you gotta ask yourself this one important detail. How come the fat, ugly guy can get a girl's phone number, but the handsome, good guy can't? A lot of times it's because that fat, ugly guy knows how to talk. His only problem is he's fat and he's ugly, but he knows how to talk. And when he goes to the gym, he can fix his problem at the gym. So then he end up having two skills. He knows how to talk, and now he's starting to become somewhat attractive. The only problem that he has at that problem is that he doesn't know how to have sex. He doesn't know how to smash. And with some money, if he goes to a teacher, like a female dominatrix, now he has 3 skills that will help him get to the next level with women. Now, I did say you have to be good looking. Now, I have a chart, and I'm about to tell you something that a lot of pickup artists and dating coaches will never tell you. When you're messing with women from the ages of 18 to 33 years old, they have what they call an expectations list. Now, I've narrowed it down to like 5 or 6, because if I was to try to put 10 things or 15, 20 things on the list, a lot of you guys will spit out your Coca-Cola, your Pepsi, your Mountain Dew, your Gatorade, your Powerade, or your apple juice or orange juice, or your tea, or your water. Some of you guys might spit out your weed. And you might say, what the fuck? Now, at number 1 is talking power. When you're trying to mess with a woman that's 18, 19, 20, 25, 27 years old, you have to learn how to talk. That is the number 1 skill that all men should have. Doesn't matter if you're a black man, a white man, you're Mexican, you're Asian. Doesn't matter if you're from Russia, Paris, France, London, England. Doesn't matter if you're from planet Mars. The number 1 skill that all men should have is they should learn how to talk. You should have talking power. You don't know how to talk, you don't know how to socialize, you get rejected every single time you meet a woman. Number 2, you must have a hot body. You must have good looks. This is why I make videos about you should go to the gym and do cardio and weight training. A lot of guys that are in the 80% are just now starting to go to the gym. Number 3, the girl's going to want you to have a big McDonald's McLovin. And you guys know what I mean when I say McDonald's Big McLovin. I'm trying to keep this video as PG as possible. Because I don't want you two to say, come on, kid, that's too much profanity language. That's too much swearing. That's too much cussing. So I'm going to say big McDonald's McLovin. If the girl is 18, if the girl's 20, 25, 27, she wants you to have a big package. Yeah. And then, of course, number 4 is you got to have money. You got to have a job. Now, you notice I said women from the ages of 18 to 33 years old. And you notice that number 4 on that list is money and the job. Money and job's not at number 1 when you're messing with a young woman. It's number 4. Number 5 is you must be a man. A nice way of saying that is you can't be insecure. You're insecure, that leads to rejection too. Now, when the woman gets between the ages of 35 to 65 years old and sometimes 70 years of age, that means women old enough to be your mother and your grandmother 10 times over. Right off the back at number 1, when the woman gets in her 30s and her 40s and 50s, is you must have money. You must have a job. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is go onto these online dating websites, and I guarantee you 90% of those profiles, the woman's going to have at the top, I want a man that has money and a job. Number 2 is you got to have a car. So when you're so even if you say, well, I don't want no woman that's 18. I don't want no woman that's 20, 25, 27. I want a woman that's 35, 40, 45, or 50. Okay, let's say you don't like younger women. Let's say you like older women. No matter how you slice it or dice it, there is no getting around this. You still have to have money. You still have to have a job. You still got to have a car. Oh, and you still have to learn how to talk socially, so you can't get away from that. And you still got to have a big McDonald's McLovin. That's going to always be there. And she's still going to want you to have a hot body and look good looking, even though she's old enough to be your mother or grandmother. And then at number 6, she going to want you to still be a man and not be insecure about yourself. So that doesn't change. When they're young and when they're old, it does not change that much. The only thing that changes is that when she's young, money and you having the job is not that much of a concern. When she hits the wall, money and you having the job become the 2 number 1 things that she's mostly concerned about. Now, you don't want to say, well, I don't want to mess with no woman that's 18, 20, 25, 27, and then you go mess with women that's 35, 40, 45, and you still don't know how to have sex. Because at that very point, the woman can look at you like, oh my God, this man does not know how to have sex. How does a basketball coach find out you don't know how to play basketball? He make you practice, right? What happens when a football coach finds out you don't know how to play football? They find this out in practice, right? And what happens if you try to box and they find out you don't know how to box? They do this in training, right? Same thing with mixed martial arts training, how they find out you don't know how to fight in MMA. They find this out by having you practice, and they find out your strengths, and they find out your weaknesses. What happens if you go to the DMV and the driving instructor finds out you don't know how to drive a car? You fail the test, right? And they make you take it over and over and over and over until you get what? Until you get it done correctly. Well, what do you think what happens when you have sex with a woman and the woman find out you don't know how to have sex? Well, now she realizes you're a bust. So 80% of men get rejected because they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to physically, sexually attract women. And most importantly, they have no idea or no clue how to have sex. Every man on this planet Earth claims they know how to have sex. Every man claims they are the man. They are the Mac Daddy. They are the Mac. Every man claims they are the player. Until that woman brings you into her house or apartment and she transforms from a woman into the freak, and then she do some super freaky shit like she's Spider-Man climbing on the walls or shit, and all of a sudden you don't know what a Horatio is. Or she say, I want doggy dog style, you don't know what that is. Or she say missionary, you don't know what that is. And then she be like, you mean to tell me you don't know what none of this bullshit is? And you go, nope, my whole entire life it was always go to high school, go to college, and go to work. The average man in America don't know what none of this is. It helps if you go buy books, you look at YouTube videos. Better than that, go get a Dominatrix teacher to teach you these things. Because when you be trying to holler at women at work, a place where you're not opposed to, and you try to holler at women at school, again, a place where you're not opposed to, and you try to approach women at the mall, women at the gym, I can guarantee you 90% of the time those women have had so much sex that how should I explain this without trying to be an asshole? You ever want to ask yourself how come when you approach a woman that's 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 years old that they brag about their sexual conquest? They brag about how much sex they had. That's how come some men can't handle when a woman has had sex with 2 guys, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys. Because these guys are not experienced. So when you get a woman 40 years old and she go, I've had sex with basketball and football players and I banged the whole entire football team, the whole entire basketball team, that man can't handle the fact that she has more experience. Women surpass men when it comes to sex 10 times over. Because women are having sex when they're in high school. Women are having sex in college. Women are having sex at work in some places. Women are having sex at the mall. And when you meet a woman 35 years, let's say you're a man that's 35 years old and you meet a woman that's 35. Because you don't want to deal with women that are 18, 20, 25, 27 years old, because the thing is they all play games, right? So let's say you just completely get away from young women altogether and you're a 35-year-old man meeting a 35-year-old woman. Well, in 15 years, she's had sex with 10 guys. And as soon as she opened her mouth and tell you the number of sexual partners she's had, you go, God damn. And she look at you like, what's the matter? And then she'll look at you like, have you ever had sex? And what are you supposed to tell a 35-year-old woman when you're 35 and it's 15 years later? Well, I got rejected 25 times in 15 years, so I never had sex because women said I was too short, I was too fat, I wasn't physically sexually attractive. Women didn't pay attention to me, and I thought if I became rich and famous, women would pay attention to me. And you know what that 35-year-old woman's going to think? Oh shit, this 35-year-old man that is the same age as me don't have no experience. Okay, let's say you're 40 years old and you date a woman that's 40, 45. The same problem and the same situation comes up again. It's 20 to 25 years later and you don't want to mess with women that's 18, 20, 25, 27 because why? They play mind games. And guess what? A woman 40, 45 years old is going to brag that she's had sex with 10, 15, 20 guys in a 20 to 25 year period. And so you try to date a woman that's 50, and guess what? Even a woman that's 50 years old brags, yeah, I had sex with a basketball player back in the day. Or yeah, I got it on with a film director back in the day. And guess what? Again, you're facing the same problem. You know why? Because women that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, the older they get, the more arrogant they get. The more they brag about their sexual conquest. And you know who they're bragging them to? Guys that have never had sex in their entire life. Guys that have no experience with women. Guys that do not know how to talk and know how to socialize with women. The alpha males, you know why an alpha male can deal with a woman no matter how old she get? Because he was dealing with these types of women when he was in high school and college. And when you get a guy that can deal with women of no matter what age range, how does a guy know how to deal with fat women? The guys that you see that are in athletic shape, well, once upon a time, that guy had to have sex with fat women, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds. So when that man gets in his 30s and his 40s and his 50s, he rejects fat women because he had to deal with them in his 20s and 30s, thanks to experience. How does a guy know a woman's 30, 40, and 50, and 60? Because back when that guy was in college, that guy had sex with women that was in their 30, that was 40, that was 50, that was 60. So when he gets women the same age as him and he rejects them, it's because that guy from past experience had sex of women of those advanced ages. How does a guy know a woman has children? Because back when that guy was in college, that guy had sex with women that had kids. So when he goes to his high school reunion 10 years later or 20 years later, he knows that the women in high school that rejected him, he knows they have kids because he dealt with women that had kids when he was in college. So when he gets to his high school reunion 10 years later, 20 years later, the women the same age as him, he knows they have kids based on what? Experience. That's how he's able to get away from women that has kids. That's how he's able to get away from women that is old enough to be his mother and grandmother. That's how he's able to get away from women that are fat and out of shape. The thing is, if you deal with women in your 20s and 30s, when you get to your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, you'll have so much experience, you'll be able to recognize a woman's past history without her asking or telling you about it. But that only starts when you go to a female dominatrix. How does a woman tell a man how young women think, good or bad? By going to an older woman. You ever seen that movie Magic Mike where he just knows how to please women? How do you think those types of guys steal men's girlfriends and wives away from them? Because he had an older woman teach him how to do that. How does a guy get any type of woman he wants, whether he's rich or famous or not? By going to a teacher who's well crafted in that profession. Now, that might cost you some money, but think about it. What would you rather have? A female dominatrix teacher that teach you how to be good with women, not just with your social skills, but in the bedroom? Or you end up going 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years, and every time you meet a woman, she always has kids. Every time you meet a woman, she's always fat and out of shape. She's 200 pounds, she's 300 pounds, she's 400 pounds. Or she's old enough to be my mother or grandmother. Or even worse, she's ugly. If you don't want that to happen to you 10 years later, 15 years later, 20 years later, or extreme circumstances, 25 to 30 years later, there is an answer to fix that problem. It's called going to a female dominatrix. They're just like a basketball coach. They're just like a football coach. They'll teach you how to have sex with multiple women. So whether your goal is to just have sex with women that are 8s, 9s, and 10s, they'll help you with that. If you just want to have one woman in your life, they'll help you with that too. What I'm trying to say in this video is that the reason why 80% of men can't get laid is because it comes down to 3 major problems. Problem number 1, the vast majority of 80% of men do not know how to talk socially. That leads